Well, hello, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Bill Crane Report with my good friend Dwayne Weiss at my side.
It's good to be back.
It's good to be back in Norfolk
Yeah,
again.
we've been over in Rentham for months.
And been in limbo for months.
It was nice of them to let us use their facility.
And a special shout out to them, a big thanks.
That's right.
They were really great.
But like anything else, guests and fish smell after a while.
Exactly.
So I'm sure they were glad to see us leave.
And there's nothing like an old pair of slippers to
That's
make
right.
you feel comfortable.
Yep.
So we have Logan producing the show today.
Yep.
And
So if you see any change in the techniques, it's that's why.
that's it. So, folks, welcome to the Year of the Snake.
That's right. The Lunar New Year,
Yep.
the Chinese New Year.
The Chinese community has had their welcoming lion parade to chase away evil spirits and misfortune, and welcome prosperity and good luck.
Yep.
Now, we can use some prosperity and
Yes,
good
we
luck.
can.
We're not
Now-
Chinese, so.
Now, my daughter-in-law is Chinese. Of course, that makes my grandchildren
Good.
half Chinese.
There we go.
And they look forward to things like this because they get little red envelopes from the other grandparents. And those little red envelopes got some green stuff in them. And it ain't grass.
Those are the best kind of gifts.
Hey, thanks, Grandma.
You know, I had season tickets to the Bruins, and there was a Sunday afternoon game,
Yep.
okay? And so I went in looking for a place to park, and after the game came out, the parade was just winding down through downtown Boston. Holy cow, what an affair that was.
Oh, they celebrate that big
Yeah,
time.
they
And the
should.
fireworks that they set off.
Yeah, there was all kinds of good stuff going on. Well, Dwayne, I don't think we have anything more important to talk about than the Super Bowl.
I think so. We should start with that.
Yep.
I watched it from start to finish.
Yep.
I did not stay with the pregame stuff too long. I get kind of bored with
I
that
can't
crap.
stand that stuff.
But the game turned out to be very much surprising for me. I didn't see that coming, and I don't think anybody did. What do you think of Tom Brady? Let's start with Brady first.
Brady, he shows no emotion at all.
He's got a weak, uncommanding voice. You don't even after a while you don't even hear him talking anymore. I know one thing: he sure as hell is not worth $387 million.
He's stealing that.
You ain't kidding. 'Cause you compare him to like Romo. There's no comparison between the two of them.
Romo's full of himself.
Of course.
Yeah. But to be on TV, you have to be full of yourself. I mean, we have fun on this show. But can you imagine if we just had to go, and now it's the Year of the Snake.
Yeah, and everything had to be so perfect and
Yeah.
But I find that he makes points, and you can tell the ones that he is coming up with and the one that's being fed to him because they got screens all around him and they feed everything. Yeah. The last play, somebody has written up the analysis already, and he's reading it. He's all right then, but when he has to start breaking off on his own, he makes a mistake that all of us do, particularly if you're not a public speaker, and that you made a statement, and for some reason we want to put a conjunction in there. Well, he ran 35 yards, and then all of a sudden, what the hell am I going to say now? I got another statement. I got to hook onto this. That makes
driven
sense.
out of bounds, and
He had a lot of buts in there, but then you're waiting for the other statement, then he stumbles around with it.
he is not a polished speaker.
No, not at all.
He may be the greatest guy in the world, and I'll bet you in the locker room he was a totally different guy.
Yeah.
That's where he shined.
Yeah, he's very self-conscious when he gets to...
He led that team. It was Brady's team, nobody else's team. So he has to have some leadership skills to do that. But boy, he doesn't really show a whole hell of a lot on TV. It was, like dried toast.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
No butter, no
No bu-
jelly.
nothing, just- yeah.
But the game itself,
It was a total surprise to me.
yeah.
I did not expect that. I don't think anybody did.
I was surprised how they did it. They played old-fashioned NFL smash mouth football.
That's right.
And they overpowered Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City got pushed all over that damn field.
That's right. They controlled them.
Yeah, yeah. And after halftime, they must have gone in there and they must have said, what's happening here? Well, the third quarter, I figured they had to come out like a lion. They didn't.
Do or
They-
die.
They came out and just fumbled around,
Yep.
and nothing changed. In fact, I thought they came out and in the first couple of sets of plays.
In the third
I
quarter?
thought, yeah.
I thought they were worse than they were in the first.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm saying to myself, they've given up.
Yep.
They're giving up. This is like the guy that stood up to the bully, smacked him around, and this is the way the bully reacts.
Yep. Did you see what the news this morning? Is Philadelphia still standing, or is it crumbled? Well, their fans are rowdy.
Oh,
I mean, the first one they made the playoffs, big power. There was a couple of guys shooting guns up, and
that's dangerous.
Of course it
Those
is.
things come down.
Yep. But there was some speculation. Somebody said, well, they'll probably burn it to the ground tonight. I don't know what happened. They didn't show too much. CNN had some. Fox didn't show any of what was happening in Philly. So that was the end of that.
Dwayne, it was a complete win by Philadelphia.
Oh, absolutely.
Offense, defense, special teams. I mean, you name it. Look, Philadelphia had a letdown in the fourth quarter, and Kansas City managed to blunder them into a couple of scores.
Well, the last one, they just gave it to them. It was a minute and 50 seconds left. Like, nah, go ahead.
Yeah. See how far you can throw it. But I was very happy. And you know what? I turned it on and I said, I'll watch this through halftime. But if it's a stinkeroo,
Yeah.
I'm heading for bed.
Me too.
Yep.
But,
I stayed up till the very end.
Did you see that graph that they put up comparing, 10 years ago or 20 years ago and today?
Oh, yeah.
The difference in prices? Now, that graph said that a commercial was $8 million. I can't imagine getting a return on
I
that.
thought you were going to ask about the comparison between the height and the
Oh, that
weight
too, yeah.
of the lineman.
330 some pounds for,
Yeah.
for
6'8",
Yeah.
or something.
huge guys.
Monstrous. Well, I'll tell you what. I hope Vrabel and the Patriots advisors had a long, hard look at how Philadelphia won that game and say to themselves, we get to draft some linemen.
You betcha they do.
And if they don't, it's going to be just like last year.
Another one they showed that the average ticket price on
yeah.
27 was $51. Last night it was about 6,000 or 5,000 or something. You know what that proves?
It's a sucker born every minute.
That these Ticketmasters and StubHub are just licensed thieves. That's
Yeah.
all they are.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, they are building a big percentage in there as they mark these tickets.
They're
up.
licensed scalpers.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
If you went down, say just to Fenway, and you had a couple extra tickets, and you tried to peddle them out for face value out in front of them, chances are you get arrested.
Yeah.
But
Well,
they can do any damn thing they want.
Yeah.
But there's I think the law in this state, you can only sell for $4 over face value.
something like that.
But
Yeah.
come on,
I wonder who's policing that law.
nobody is.
Nobody is the correct answer.
Yep.
But I thought that Hurts, or whatever his name,
Jalen Hurt.
I thought he played not an error-free game because he made a couple of mistakes out there. But I'll tell you what, he outplayed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
He played very solid.
very solid.
Yeah.
And he ran very solid. And he didn't screw around and run simply because he was chased out of the pocket.
No.
I mean, he ran with a mission. He's a big boy, too.
Oh, yeah. He's good size.
Well, I thought that was a damn good game. And I'll tell you what, Philadelphia is going to be a powerhouse for a while.
Yeah, for a while. You bet you are.
Yeah.
They're really going to hang in there for a while.
Now, if you were Andy Reid and you've been contemplating when to retire, would you retire now and say, you know, our team needs some rework, needs a little makeover here, and we were exposed for some weaknesses, and maybe we need a new guy with new eyes to come in, and maybe it's time I hung him up.
If it was me, and I don't know how Andy Reid, I think the other guys think different than I do. I'm feeling my age. I want to do stuff yet other than work stuff. I would take it and I'd ride off in the sunset.
Yeah. In fact, I'd go to the ownership and say, look, this was not our finest hour.
Yeah.
And if you want to buy me out of my contract, I will.
Work with you.
I'll have a smile on my face and shake hands with you and wish you all the best.
Yep, because, you know, so often happens, and I don't know about his situation or anybody in the, you get a guy like that, and I'm sure he's got a lot of stress, a lot of mental
Does he
on him
ever?
from everybody. And it's just not worth it to someday just have a heart attack doing that.
And not only that, but you take a look at the Patriots. They stopped listening to Belichick.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They could stop listening to Reid.
Oh, absolutely. Very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, speaking of the choices you just made with your electric bill, I had the chance.
We haven't really discussed that yet.
No.
Which is, this is off pre-air here.
Yeah, but I had problems with Comcast.
Okay. Billing? Or service?
Yeah, well, they had, I was watching TV, and the next night I turned it on and I said, now I'm going to watch the Celtics tonight. You have to subscribe.
Oh, I hate that.
Well,
That's just pure greed.
it is. So I went to see them, and they said, yeah, the sports are now going to be broken out from the package,
Yep.
and it's a separate. So from 237, I went to 265 in the blink of an eye. Mm-hmm. But now I can watch the Celtics and the Bruins again.
Yeah, that's good.
And come some of the Red Sox.
Yeah, but it's just greed.
Now, the guy I talked to up to the Bellingham store said to me, I bet you I know why you've come to see me. I'm going to tell you right up front. I hate this policy. I had nothing to do
Yeah,
with it, and I have absolutely no power. I cannot change
Nothing.
anything. I can't give you any wiggle room like I used to be able to do in the old days. It's gone. And they gave us orders in no uncertain terms. Shut up and tell the customer it is what it is.
It's too bad.
Yeah. So that was a kind of a pain in the butt, but now I'm set for the next 30 days until they raise the price again.
So you got like that game package?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no. They restructured everything.
Okay,
They
I don't
threw
know.
everything out the window.
Okay.
And now they got basic, medium, and ultimate.
Okay.
And
I don't know.
in
I don't know
order
what
to
I
get
got.
sports, you got to go to the ultimate package.
Okay. I'm paying up to. Oh, it was 210 or 240. Now it's 267 or something a month. I don't,
Now, have you got the sports coverage?
I don't think so. Well, I don't know what I got, quite frankly, because I don't usually watch.
Well,
I
tonight.
watch the Red Sox and I watch Patriots, but
Yeah.
that's but
Okay. Tonight, if there's a basketball game on
Yep.
or a hockey game on,
I'll
check
check
it
it
out,
out, yeah.
and you'll find out what you got.
I have the only one I pay service. I got HBO Max, and I don't pay for that. My son pays for it. So
Yeah.
he gives me that every year for my birthday. He puts
I-
another year on it.
I have, the only streaming service I have is BritBox.
Okay. Yep.
I enjoy that, and it's like $10 a month. And
And then even though we got it there, we don't utilize it that much.
I know we don't either. I
'Cause I
got
usually-
it, and I utilized the heck out of it. I looked to see what they had and everything. Watch this, watch that, and then became blasé again.
We had Netflix when you could
Yeah.
be on somebody else's number, and Craig had that. So we watched the big ones from Netflix, like Breaking Bad and Ozark and stuff. And after that, I just kind of let it go. I didn't even
Yeah.
bother with it anymore.
Yeah, well, the same thing with us. Patrick had Netflix, and he put us on Netflix.
Yeah, it's the same deal.
Yeah, just-
when they clamped down on that.
Oh, yeah, they clamped
oh,
down on
boy.
that big time, yeah. And they dragged in a hell of a lot of money.
They did.
And they didn't get cancellations.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
right.
I guess they understand their business.
Yeah, well, they're good at what they do.
They are.
And as far as Comcast goes, they are so big. I think they own NBC. They own somebody. Well, they own a lot of the big names. You think they're independent? Comcast owns them.
ABC.
ABC?
Yeah,
One of
I
them.
think. I don't know, but you're right. Yeah, they have got an inordinate amount of influence in that whole marketplace.
We watch the same stuff all the time. She's got hers. I got the ones I like. And, I think I pick more than she does because Monica TV is a noise in the background for the most part because she knits it, and she's always knitting. And
I have a lady that lives at my house, and it's the computer and websites, and
so I'll look over there sometimes. Are you watching this?
I'm
Yeah.
I'm listening.
Well, I'll say, what's going on? I don't know. I said, you're not watching that.
It's good company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like to, if I want to read, I don't want the disturbance of the TV.
Yeah. I've gravitated back from TV to reading. I'll watch the sports. That's about it. Oh, and Fox Financial in the morning. Can't do without that. So I went to Walgreens across the street, drugstore the other day, and I'm walking along, and there's a quarter on the sidewalk.
Well,
I said, well, I bent down. There's a nickel. Wait a minute. What? And 4 pennies. 34 cents I picked up. Let me tell you.
I haven't picked up 34 cents in a long time.
Yeah. I wear bifocals, and I'm really concerned about stepping into a rut or a hole
Yeah.
or something. So I get my head down a lot.
Yeah.
Now, I have to, with the bifocals, I can't walk along like this and look down. I have to be like this. Mm-hmm. So I see things on the ground. I pick up money all the time.
Yeah, I occasionally used to years ago used to do it, but now I don't think I could bend over to pick it up.
The best I ever did, believe it or not, $55.
Wow.
It was in the Walpole Mall parking lot. It was a windy day. And here's a roll of paper rolling at me. And like a good shortstop, I went right down and scooped it. $55. Two 20s, or maybe it was a 20 and three 10s and a 5. $55, but it was like in a roll, like somebody had it
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
So I'm saying to myself, yikes. So I looked at the bride and I said, she said, what are you going to do with that? I said, let's walk around the parking lot and see if we can see somebody that's walking
for it,
around
yep.
looking for it. Couldn't.
No.
So I went in to the lady that sits in the middle of the joint, and I said to him, has anyone come in and reported losing money out in the parking lot? He said, no. I said, is there any place else that someone would come in and talk to somebody about it? She said, no, it's me or the wall. I said, tell you what. I said, I found some money out there, some serious folding money. If anyone comes in and can tell me what they lost, tell me how much it was,
Yep.
I'll gladly give it back to them.
And the
So
serial
I'm
number.
gonna shop for a while. I said, I'll swing by and see you again. And I gave him my name and
Yeah,
address.
okay.
So I stopped by. No, nobody asked. I put it in my pocket and took it home.
Yeah. I know the police department, if you supposedly, you take a large fine in, they say, well, we'll hold it for X number of days. If nobody claims it, then it's going to be yours. But I often wonder, how many actually make it to the end of the 30 days before?
Before somebody with a badge claims it?
Not saying they would, but I knew a couple
Oh,
that
I'm
would.
saying they probably would.
I lived in Brockton for a good number of years.
You understand that. And we talked about the madness of banks this morning earlier, about them when you bring change in.
Oh, yeah.
You know, folks, I brought in a whole bucket of change, probably 3 years worth. I brought it in to a local bank here in town, and they said, well, you got to roll it all up into rolls.
Yep.
I said, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that a coin counter over there? Yes, but it's not for the use of the public. It's for us. I said, you know, I do business with you folks. I don't screw you out of money or anything like that. I'm honest with you. You're honest with me. And you're telling me I can't use that I have to go home and spend 3 hours wrapping these things up?
Easy
She
3
said,
hours.
Yep. So she gave me the wrappers. Didn't charge me for them.
Well, that was wonderful.
Yeah. I went home and spent a following Saturday wrapping
Takes a
those
long
things
time
up.
to wrap
Yeah.
them.
I went up and I said, I got $91.75 here. She said, okay. And I said, well, $91.75, give me the money. No. She broke open every single one of them and dumped them into the coin changer.
That's right.
I said, now that's just what you refused to do for me. And I spent 3 hours of my precious life rolling things for you, and you take them and dump them in the hopper.
Yeah.
It's for us to use, not you, sir.
I took a those big water 5-gallon things that go into water machines.
Oh yeah.
You couldn't even hardly lift the damn thing it was Foxborough Federal or one of the Foxborough downtown, and same thing. they want, no, you got to roll it, you got to roll it. And I ended up with $312 out of that thing. And I got there and they just ripped them open, put them in a machine, and kept recounted them and said, "All right, you're okay." I said, why you couldn't do that first? But now that bank has changed to Rockland, and they have a machine in the lobby. And I don't know if there's a charge if you're not a customer. But I don't know if you got an account there. You just simply punch in your account number, dump your coins on, and then do you want it deposited or you want the money? You put deposit, they just prints out a deposit slip and you leave.
Yeah.
And there's no service charge
Yeah,
for it.
but you have to be a customer.
I think there
Yeah.
might be a service charge if you're not.
Yeah, 7%.
Something like that?
Something like that, yeah. I'm not going to give them 7% of...
I noticed that Stop and Shop there in Foxborough, they got what do they call, Red something or other, machine that's for that. And they charge a fee unless you take it in a gift card. And so when I had change there, I would simply take it in a Stop and Shop gift card because I'm going in there to shop for groceries anyway, and I just hand it to them when I get to the register. But,
Guarantees that you'll spend that money.
oh,
in
yeah,
the-
eventually. Oh, today?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw a sign. It says, "I've gotten so strong, I can lift a $100 bag of groceries with one arm."
Beautiful. Going back to your huge bucket
Yeah.
of coins, someone I knew, friend of mine, had that exact same situation. Picked it up and the bottom fell out of it.
Oh, gee, that would have been awful. Oh, that, especially outside in the parking lot or someplace.
No, it happened right in his house. He was
okay.
telling me about it.
Yeah, I saved that for, oh, God, I bet you 3-4 years. Because I would, I was traveling, I'd always just throw my change. I would never keep it in my pocket. 'Cause
Back before credit cards.
That's right.
You
You
always,
always-
ended up with change in your
Yep.
pocket. I used to do the same thing, Dwayne. I had a little bowl
Yep.
on my dresser, and I dropped the coins in it, and then eventually dump them into a big bucket.
I still got I guess it's a ashtray that nobody's ever used for years on top of my dresser. And if I got change, I just throw the thing in there.
Yeah.
But you don't get much change anymore
No, you don't.
because you don't use cash that often.
That's right. And we're going to get even less because President Trump this morning instructed the Treasury Department not to make any more pennies.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Pennies are, they're
Passe.
yeah, they're almost throwaways today.
Yeah. Back when a guy made $12 a week, pennies were
Pennies were worth
important. Boy, I'll tell you.
But I think today when people open their pockets and a few pennies fall out, most people don't even pick them up.
I know it. I pick up the pennies. Do you know what? This is I'm going to get to this next subject, but
right.
I got to do something else first.
All right.
Either or.
Oh, here we go.
Stick to a rigid schedule every day or wing it.
Wing it.
Okay. Red or green grapes?
Red.
Yeah, I like them both,
Yeah.
but red is correct. Be caught in a thunderstorm or a hailstorm?
Thunderstorm.
Yeah. Did you ever get caught in a hailstorm?
Not the kind that's going to knock you on the head. I've been in hailstorms, but they were only like pea size.
I was down West Virginia and I saw one with, maybe $50 size. I just sat in the car, let me tell you.
Yeah, I saw one of those on the weather thing. I think it was probably Texas or Oklahoma. Those things were going through the windshield. They were
Yeah.
starting to break right through.
Woof. Get a free drink or a free dessert with your fast food meal. Assuming,
Dessert.
assuming they're both the same price.
Okay, dessert.
Dessert, yeah. Soft pretzel or cotton candy?
Soft pretzel.
Yeah, me too. Paint or wallpaper?
I don't like doing either one of them, but if I had to do it or if I had it in my house,
I guess that's if you had to do it, if you're a handyman.
I guess I'd rather paint than wallpaper.
Yeah, me too. Ugh. I've tried wallpapering. It's not fun.
We wallpaper a lot in our house we live in now. But when I built it, the plasterers, the drywallers were so bad, they left so many seams and
Yeah,
nail holes
yeah.
and stuff. You had to put the wallpaper on just to
Yep.
smooth the wall off.
Yeah. Coffee cake or cinnamon roll?
Cinnamon roll.
Yeah, me too. Hot chocolate or hot apple cider?
Chocolate.
Yeah, me too. Paint or draw?
Paint. I can't draw.
Okay. Yeah, I'd probably pick drawing because I'd make a mess painting. Be thrill-seeking or overly cautious? I think it just depends on your age.
I was just going to say, I started out as thrill-seeking, and now has migrated over to overly cautious. I've often said we watch somebody. I watch these videos that people send in, and they'll going down a hill on a kid tricycle and going to go over a ramp. I said, this ain't going to end well, you know. And why do you do stuff like that? And another thing I cannot, not just stupid kids doing it, adults that do risky, life-threatening activities. I said, now my life is not that dull that I need to actually risk my life doing this
Yeah.
to get a thrill out of it. I don't understand it.
I never understood it either. Never. In fact, my wife accuses me of being born an old fart.
Yeah.
But even though I am,
Yep.
I remember doing things and I'm saying to myself, oh my God, I could have got killed doing that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When you look at the stupid stuff you did as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swim in the ocean or read a book on the beach?
Read a book on the beach.
Yep.
Years ago, we used to go to the beach all the time. And we'd go to Virginia Beach in the summertime. When sometimes we used to go down to Jersey Shore when friends were down there. But we'd go to Virginia Beach, get in the water, nice surf and everything else, and the water was decent. But damn crabs would come out and grab you. Holy God, they hurt. Or you go to New Jersey, and the damn
Jellyfish?
jellyfish would be
Yeah.
in the water.
Sting you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, this is not fun. Now I would. The last time, I haven't been to the beach in, oh, criminy sakes. My cousin and her daughter came out, and I took them down to Narragansett. Yeah, I didn't even put a bathing suit. I just had shorts on and sneakers. We just sat in the beach and talked. But I had no desire to go in that water.
No, no.
One time.
In fact, swimming was, as far as I was concerned, fresh water or forget about it.
Yeah, me too. But one time down a Horse Neck, we used to go when Craig was little.
Yeah, Austin.
We used to go to, I kind of liked that beach for a
It
while.
was nice.
And but one time down there, something slid by my leg, and it went on, long enough that it was going by, pretty good size, and it was not smooth. It was rough, and sharks I know got a rough skin. That was it for today for me. I'm not a thrill seeker at that point. I don't know what the hell it is.
There's small sharks,
Yeah,
sand sharks.
Sand sharks. That's it.
And that may well have been where it was. They have a rough hide.
Yeah.
And they're long and skinny.
Yeah.
What happens down to there is you've got bait fish out here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the bait fish come in, and the sand sharks kind of follow around and come in. And sometimes they get in shallow water and they get stranded and end up dying, and they're on
Yeah.
the beach.
You can see that when they're kind of corralling those fish, the little fish, because you see them jumping all over
Yeah.
the place.
Yeah.
Well, something's chasing them under there.
Yeah. We were down the Cape fishing with my grandfather, who loved fishing at night for striped bass. We were on a beach and we were casting out, and we had seen the day before that a whole bunch of squid had washed up. Now, and Grandpa said the stripers are driving the squid in. And the squid are running away from and they're getting in and getting stranded.
Yeah.
He said, tomorrow night, the same tide, we'll go out here fishing and we'll catch ourselves some stripers. Well, cast out, and boom, holy cow, Grandpa, I got something here. He says, that's a striped bass. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Was the sand shark.
Well, you know now, if you were in England, you'd have the fish and chips right there.
Yeah. Yeah, they like dogfish. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. They're
sharks.
called dogfish
Yeah.
too.
Chocolate cake or cheesecake?
Chocolate cake.
Oh, I like cheesecake. Collect keychains or refrigerator magnets?
I don't know. We have so many refrigerator magnets on the refrigerator. I think it's going to pull the damn machine over someday. And
I don't know where the magnets go at my house. I'm always looking for them.
I'll give you a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Plus, I got my oil company. Every time you get a oil delivery, they take your, that statement they give you off and how many times and gallons and all that stuff, and they fold it up and they put it in one of these clips, real strong clips. They're really good for like potato chips and stuff. But my God, after a while, the refrigerator gets full of those things. Oh,
Well,
I just
that's
got
great.
I got oil last week too. Go ahead.
They're handy. Visit Europe or Australia?
No, that's a tough one. I've never been to either one of them. I think I'd like to see Europe, and then I would like to see Australia too.
So you're dodging this question.
Yeah, I'll go with Europe on that one.
Okay. Me too. And not the least of which is the 15-hour flight to Australia.
Yeah, that's another.
That's a bummer.
No, I've been on those kind of flights, and
they're not.
work.
Now, if you get first class,
Well, yeah.
yeah. But otherwise, it's not a good time.
Yeah, my son flies, and his wife goes. She just came back from Germany last week, but they all get to be first or business class today. They don't sit all scrunched up on the.
When I went on the road and started traveling, the first year I built up points. So I got in not just the Point Club, but the President's Club.
Oh yeah, okay.
The President's Club gave you unlimited first class upgrades.
Wow, today that would be worth a fortune.
In Dwayne, and this was was U.S. Airways. I only flew cabin class one time in 20 years
Oh my.
because the girls, when I'd make my reservations, they tipped me off about something. I can't authorize giving you first class, but and what they would tell people is when you arrive at the airport and you get in line to check in, ask for the upgrade. Is there an upgrade available?
Yep.
She told me you can call up to 2 weeks
Oh really?
before your flight. Let me tell you something. Every single flight I booked, I called exactly 14 days in advance.
That's good because You know, the counter people in any kind of industry like that. I used to tell Monica, I says, you know, they can help you or they can hurt you.
If you're polite to them,
Be nice, be
it.
just sweet as you can be to them.
that's right. And I kept getting in the mail paper upgrades. I tell you, I was a popular guy because I would bring them at the check-in line. I said to somebody, if I saw somebody nice beside me and not a creep, I'd say, would you like a couple of first-class upgrades?
Yep.
Here you go. People would say thank you, and they'd like me. I was buying affection.
Yeah, well, it's true because I remember one time we were coming back from Minneapolis to Boston, and they made us land in Milwaukee because everything was snowed or something in here. They couldn't go on, and oh my God, the Milwaukee's airport was just jammed with people. Because if you were going to Iowa or Michigan, any place, you couldn't. That's the last part.
You
last
had
spot.
to go through Milwaukee.
Yeah, because they couldn't handle the planes going into these places anymore, and it was chaos. I mean, there was long lines and stuff, and there was a creep in front of us on the line, and he was one of those. Do you know who I am?
Beautiful.
I have got to be in this city by a certain time. I want you to get me there. You've got to get me. And on and on and on. And then he starts yelling up for a supervisor. And the poor lady said, well, I can call a supervisor. It's going to take a while because we're very busy. But we just don't have anything. There's no flights going in. I can't manufacture something. Well, if something can be done, blah, 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 blah. And they went off to the side, and I said, what a jerk. I said, how do you do that? And I started talking to her, and she says, I think I'll put you two in the first class. I said, okay. I said to Monica, see? The same thing happened one night at 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, I guess it was, in Las Vegas. We take the red eye, or we take the 6 or 8 o'clock flight out of Logan, but with the time change, when you got in, it was like 1 or 2 in the morning. And I was going to the Hertz counter, and I said to this girl sitting there with a hand on her side, I said, you look like you had a tough day. She says, I had a very tough day. She says, everybody's mad, everybody's it. I said, well, what do you got left for cars? And she said, this time of the morning, just about everything. And I said, okay, well, I got just a standard sedan. She says, how'd you like a GT 500 Mustang for the same price? I was like a damn fool. I said, yes. It was an interesting car, but it wasn't for us.
Not practical.
No. It rode like a wagon.
Yep.
Just no
buckboard,
suspension. Yeah. And it was hot. It ran fast. It was hard to get in, hard to get out of it. I said, who in the hell would buy this thing for a family car? You don't have that for a family car. It's some kid that's going to buy that.
The same thing happened to me, kind of. I was late getting into a flight, and it was in Louisiana, and it was a small airport. And I said to myself, oh, crap, I hope they've got a car for me. Mm-hmm. And I went to the gate, to the window, and she said, you're Mr. Crane. I said, yep. How'd you know? She says, I've been waiting for you. Now I can go home.
Oh, yeah.
She said, I had to wait here till your flight came in so I could give you the keys to your car and all that stuff. So I said, well, thank you so much. I hope you have a great night.
Yeah, that was nice.
So I went out back. It had rained 11 inches in 10 hours.
Oh, my, that's flood time.
And my car was in the back of the lot in sort of a dip. The water was right up to the hubcaps, up halfway up the hubcaps. Mm-hmm.
Well, how'd you get to it?
Well, I walked back in, and I said, I found my car. She said, well, it's the only one out there. You couldn't miss it.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, but what am I going to do? It's underwater almost. And she looked. She said, looked out like a side window. And then in the nicest words, the sweetest smile, well, if it were me, I would take off my shoes and my socks and roll my pant legs up and wade out to the car.
So you know what Bill did? No, I want a piggyback ride.
Bill just said, I was afraid you were going to tell me that. She says, I've got to go. I'm a half an hour late for my husband's supper. And I said, okay, sweetheart, go.
Is that what you ended up doing then, is wading out to it?
Yep. It's one more event in the rich pageant of life.
Oh, traveling for a living like that, you think it's going to be great when you start it, but it's got its own pitfalls and hazards and hardships.
You know, you arrange a schedule the week before you go out.
Yep.
And on Wednesday, I'm going to be with this guy lunch, this guy second thing in the afternoon, and I'm going to see if I can get in to see this distributor late. Never worked out.
Never worked.
Never worked out.
Something always comes up.
Yep. And if you don't get to see somebody at 1 o'clock, you're done for the day.
That's right. I told my son when he graduated from grad school and he got that job that he's got now, and it traveled because was in foreign acquisitions manager of foreign companies they were buying. So that meant, he was going to Finland here and in Germany, and then he said, "Well," he says, "next week I'm going to be in Italy," and then I says, "Enjoy it now because you're going to get real tired of this." Oh, he says, like an adventure. He wasn't married or anything yet. And about a year later, he said, "Oh my
Catches up
God!"
with you.
He said, "This is."
But so I was always on the road, but U.S. Airways, National Car Rental, they were wonderful. I was in the President's Club there too.
Oh, geez, you were a big shot, weren't you?
One price, okay,
Yep.
and that is a mid-size. Okay, that was my contract with them, and I could pick any car out there. and
Yeah, they
get
were one of the first
mid-price.
ones to do that.
Yeah.
Now they all do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well, boy, I'll tell you, I got Lincoln Continental town cars.
But I noticed the last time, who do you? I think we were getting. I think it was Hertz. Yeah, it was Hertz again. The last time I rented. But when National bought Alamo,
Yep,
the Alamo was always
cheap.
a lot less money. But what they did, there was the National rows, and then there was the Alamo row. Nationals cars had 6,000, 8,000 miles on them, and nicer ones. The Alamos all had 60, 70, 80,000 miles on. Hubcaps missing. Just that. You weren't going to get anything over on them.
The people at National were always very, very good to me. And I'd go out in the lot, and I'd always make sure I had a $5 bill in my pocket. And if I didn't find a Lincoln or what else, one of the big Buicks, I'd find the jockey and I'd say, I don't see any Lincoln Continentals in the line. And he turned around and he looked, he says, "No," he says, "we don't. No, there's none in the line." So I pull a $5 out. I said, "You don't suppose you could go back there and see if there's one that's been prepped but hasn't been brought out yet, do you?"
See what I can do.
"Sir, wait right there." About 2 minutes later, bingo bango, and he'd
Oh, yeah.
leave and open the door, step out and hold the door for me, "Please, sir," and boom, off we go. I happened to be watching a TV program the other night, And my mind works in strange directions.
It's the age, Bill.
Yeah.
It's both of us do.
They were doing a tribute to Irving Berlin.
Oh yeah.
And they sang, "There's no business like show business." You know, people, blah, blah, blah. And I said to myself, well, obviously, they've never been a valve salesman.
That's right. We're cutting valves, cutting burrs. Well, what more excitement could you
Could you
get?
ask for?
You know, they used to say, what was that saying? Because I interviewed with Northwestern Life Investment as a actuary for the insurance business. And they used to laugh at it. Right in the interview, one kid he says, you know the difference between an actuary and an accountant? He says, it's like being an accountant without the excitement. Meaning that this is pretty dry stuff you're going to be dealing with in this job.
My son Patrick is a bit of a scamp. So one day, I don't know where he got, so I think he saw this pulled on somebody else. But he come home, and I says, how'd everything go in school today, Patrick? He says, kind of lousy. I said, what do you mean? I said, I don't want to talk about it. I said, what happened? Well, a bunch of us kids were standing around outside at recess, or whatever they did. They were a free time anyway. And so we all got talking. And one of the kids was saying, well, my dad's a lawyer. And God, things are always hectic around my house and all. And, oh, Tommy, what's your father do? Oh, he's the president of a company that manufactures blah, 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 blahs. Oh, and Eddie, what's your father do? Oh, he said, my dad works for the government. He's in the Secret Service. And so it went like this, and it got to me. And I said, oh, my dad is he's a pilot for an airline. And I said, why did you say that? He says, well, I didn't want my friends to know you were a valve salesman.
Great.
I said, you miserable little pump. Aye.
I thought Patrick Haley was a prankster, too. As Craig was. He really was a prankster. I mean, he just loved getting over on somebody with some. The first, plus he's a techie type. He and his wife both. If it's new, if Apple comes out with it, they got it within days. You can't buy them anything because they already bought it. Well, anyway, he got one of the first cell phones I've ever seen. And he comes to our house, and it was like a Friday night, and we had ordered a pizza. Now, I'm going to change the name of the company because I think they're still in Walpole. So I was called Joe's Pizza. I'm just making that up, folks. I said, we ordered a pizza. He said, well, where'd you get it from? I said, Joe's in Walpole. He said, just a minute. He goes out in his car, takes his cell phone, and calls the house number in our house. Of course, my wife answers it, and he says, is this Monica? Yeah. He said, this is Joe's Pizza. Okay. Did you just order a pizza from us? Well, yes, I did. He says, lady, if you put out when you picked up the pizza, we'll give it to you for free. She slams that phone down. She's got this mad look on her face. I said, what's the matter with you? I just got an obscene cold phone call from Joe's Pizza. I said, no. Yeah, they knew I ordered a pizza, and they said if I put out when I come to pick it up, I can have it for free. I said, well, you might as well go get it then, because I said, see, oh, you're just as bad as they are. Well, Craig comes back in the house, and both of us are just trying not to laugh. And he let, okay, 5, he let her go for, 40 minutes on that, or 30 minutes, however long time we had to go get the damn pizza. But he just loved doing stuff like that.
A scamp.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Ay, ay, ay. Donald Trump made another big announcement this morning. It's time we got away from paper straws and brought plastic
Oh, I saw that.
straws
I
back.
saw that in the paper yesterday. That I agree with.
Yep.
Oh God, I hate those paper straws. They crush right away.
Yeah, we got rid of those years ago.
Yeah.
Also, there was one of the talking heads on that I like was saying Trump is doing more things to start negotiations. A lot of the stuff he's doing is not really what he wants to do,
No,
but he
I-
wants the conversation to start.
Yeah. Because the proposals he's got out there, the guy is not that dumb. You can't do it. You know, it's just.
But he said the steel and aluminum
Tariffed. The tariff on it?
Tariffs.
Yeah.
that he put on yesterday on Canada,
Yeah.
he said he doesn't expect anything from those. But he's trying to get Canada to sit down at the table with him and come up with a economic union between the two countries.
Yeah.
And he said this is his way of starting the conversation.
Yeah.
He said what he didn't take into consideration is that they don't have a prime minister now.
No. Trudeau.
Trudeau is in limbo. In fact, he's just walked away from the job. So it's gonna. He started this conversation. He's going to wait now for.
But you know that's true because you look at that proposal, 25% from Canada on oil.
Steel. Yeah.
Oil. No, I'm oil.
Yeah.
You think now who's that going to affect? That is going to affect his base, Trump's base, new base and old base, because most of the gas that we use here come from Irving Distillery and Factories
Oh, yes.
in St. John's.
Yes. Absolutely.
So if you put 25% on all our pumps here and through the Midwest, that all them farm guys that all voted for Trump, okay, thank you, too. All of a sudden, their fuel bill is going to jump 25%. You're going to have a lynching on your hands.
Yeah.
And he knows that.
He knows that, and he knows it'll never happen.
Yeah.
And I've read various articles about tariffs and who pays for them.
Well,
And there are tariffs that the country, the manufacturer that sends it to the U.S., they pay the tariff. And there are tariffs where the U.S. pays the
Pays it,
tariff,
whoever
puts
brings
the
it in. money
money in there from one pocket to another, and it just raises. I don't understand how that works.
Well, it can be inflationary. You got to be very careful with tariffs.
Yeah.
Because the majority of consumer goods is paid by the person that ordered it. Okay, well, I think we could probably continue this one the next.
All right. So,
we're getting
friends,
close to.
take a break, and we'll be back shortly.
We'll be right back.